Well, hello world and hello America. Here it is, the 9th of November, 2016, and we're going to make America great again. That's how the voting turned out, and so a lot of people are talking about, well, maybe I don't want to live in America anymore. That brings me back to 2008. We had just elected Barack Obama president, and I felt the same way. I didn't care for the idea of Obamacare, which we now see is kind of worked out to be a disaster. And so some things like that I saw coming and are changes that I didn't like and I didn't agree with. And like many people today, we're worried about the future. So I made a plan. And it was at that moment in time that I really began to develop this whole concept of a plan of how to get control of your life, of how to take freedom and responsibility of your own life and to not have to rely on government to provide everything for me. So 3 things that I learned when I left America. And I went to Costa Rica. I chose Costa Rica. A lot of people are talking about Canada. I don't like snow. And I like a constitutional republic. Costa Rica has more Americans living in it than any other country outside of the continental U.S. So I thought, well, that's a pretty nice place to go. The average temperature there is 88 degrees, and its humidity is like 90-something%. So it's always got like a cool breeze blowing everywhere in the country. It's awesome. It's beautiful. They speak a lot of Spanish, and they also do speak some English down there, but they have a national language, and it is Spanish. However, did you know that you can become a citizen of Costa Rica, and if you become a citizen, you could run for president of Costa Rica. So I thought it would be super cool to go to Costa Rica and develop a business for the Americans down there and become an eventual presidential contender in Costa Rica. And one of the things that I realized first off when I got to Costa Rica was America really is great. And in all honesty, it was because of some of the things I was trying to run from. I didn't like big government. But I found out that some forms of government are good. And see, I got to Costa Rica and I realized that they don't have the electrical code system like we have here in America that says you can't run electrical outlets on the outside of your house without them being underground or in certain tubes and things like that. And they just kind of willy-nilly their electricity however they needed to get the job done. And that was always great until you used the shower that heated your water instantly at the shower head, which I think is a fantastic technology, and I would love to be able to put that in my house. But when you wire that, you got to make sure that it's not grounded to the soap dish, because those electrical sparks really kind of suck. And, there were some other things, just food safety and, making sure you actually get as much as in the box, the weights and measures, standards and measures, some of those kinds of little parts of government that I realized, hey, they aren't so bad. And that's some of the rules of the road, like pedestrians have the right of way. Well, that was pretty good considering more people get run over in Costa Rica than about anything else is ways to die there. And there are plenty of ways to die there. So the second thing that I learned is I tried to see what it would be like to pick up and move and go to another country and be a citizen and try to blend into a country that I didn't speak the native language. And immigrants deserve some sympathy. And our country, America, is built on immigration and built on people coming to a new land to start a new way of life. And that deserves some sympathy because that's a big struggle. You're picking up your family and you're going to a completely different country where you don't know the customs, you don't know how to get around, you don't know what neighborhood's a good neighborhood, you don't know how much things are, where am I going to find food? Do they have grocery stores like I'm used to? What am I going to do to get on a bus? How do I travel? How do I get around? None of the signs are in a language that I speak. So I really learned how good we have it, how great we are to other people, how sympathetic we really can be here in America to people who are coming and trying to become Americans as we make things available in multitudes of languages and we don't force everybody to speak a single language. Rather, English is not a simple one, or I would do a better job while I'm doing these videos. But it is a single language, and we can either choose to have a single language or we can have sympathy, which we do, which is one of the things that makes us great. And a third thing I learned is if America falls, the world follows. We are that shining beacon on the hill. Even in the face of things not going the way we want them to go, and even if the nation isn't headed in the direction you think it should be headed, we're leading the way. And sometimes we lead in a way that we don't like. I don't like interventionist foreign policy. I don't like when our government tries to decide who should run other countries and make the rules of what should be legal or not legal in other countries just because we say it shouldn't be legal here. But as we do well, we spread that to the world. So when we were doing well in America, we spread that to Costa Rica, and then land started being worth more, and sales of property in Costa Rica started growing, and people were making lots of money on that sort of thing. And then American economy went to crap in 2008, and we were headed in a bad direction, and Costa Rica went with it. Now, they were lucky because they still have a lot of capitalism in the form of small businesses that just serve the neighborhood and really just serve families. And there's shops everywhere, and everybody's got some sort of little store. And that's how most people make their living. They aren't relying on great big factories. They're entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship was alive and well in Costa Rica, and the pure life is alive and well there too. So if you're going to leave America, go somewhere warm. I mean, let me just put a plug in for Costa Rica if you're going to leave. However, before you go, I really just want you to think about these three things. And if you're looking to get a plan in your life, if you'd like to make a plan for how to leave America, if you'd like to just get a plan for how you're going to make America great again, or if you just need a plan to provide some clarity on what your purpose is, my name is Justin C. Kurtz. You can go to justinckurtz.com, or you can go to planwithjustin.com. And you can hook up with me and we can get a plan for your greatness. And I hope you have an amazing day, and let's make America great again.